Welcome to Books on Air. I'm Suzanne Harris. Now, Books on Air is a series where we do a deep dive into the writer's passion. We talk to them about why they wrote their book. We also explore their writing process, and we ask them what they hope their readers will take away from their book. You, dear listeners, are getting a real glimpse behind the curtain, if you will. Joining me today is a very special person. Her name is Miriam Steiner Aviezer. Did I say that right?
A little bit, Aviezer.
Aviezer. I've been practicing and trying to get this right, Miriam. I apologize. She's here to talk about her wonderful, poignant book titled Dear Mary. Miriam, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you as my guest today on Books on Air.
Well, it's nice to talk to you, yes.
The book is very personal, and this happened after World War II. Why did you decide today to write the book?
The book is essentially a thank you letter from a former for me that was a Holocaust child survivor to the people of America for sending me in these sad days a package. And all the book is about this package.
It's about so much more than that, but you're absolutely right. That's the basic story, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is a short story which was published a few years ago in large in the Washington Post. But today I wanted to send a thank you letter, and this is the way I choose. Yes.
Let's go ahead and give an overview of the story, because the title, Dear Mary, comes from that experience. Yes,
this is a personal experience, and this is a personal story in the years of after the World War II. Where everything was very sad, and I was happy to be in the recreation center that the Joint Distribution Committee organized for the children Holocaust survivors. This place where we were, it was very nice and very good taken. But we lived in a big house with a huge garden and flowers around and everything. Everybody has a nice bed, and we wear nice clothes. But I did not like to see. I did not like to associate with anyone. I did not eat in the big dining room, and I was allowed to take my meal to a place where I was hiding. And I was happy when they just left me alone and did not force me to join them.
How old were you, Miriam?
At that time, I was 11. Yes, I was 11.
It sounds like it was a good place to be, but a frightening place to be at the same time.
No, it was a nice place, and the joint they did all the efforts to make us happy and to provide us a nice place to live in. But maybe they didn't understand our feelings and our mental situation. I just want to be alone all the time.
How many other children were there with you?
Oh, many children. There were maybe 15, many, because they collected the children from many places to put them together, yes.
Were there some older and some younger?
Yes, all ages. Not very, well, maybe the same ages, 11, 12, 13. So,
boys and girls?
yes, yes. It could be nice, but I didn't like to. I was just a person that liked to be alone, and I was just happy if they didn't join me in their singing and dancing. There was no one single thing that could move me.
You just wanted to be left alone.
I just wanted to be left alone.
But then one day something wonderful happened, didn't it?
Yes. Yes, it happened, something very nice. Then one day I found a big package. Shall I tell you about this now?
Please.
Yes.
Did you want to read? Did you want to read about it? Do you have a portion of the book that you'd like to share here, or?
Yes, I think I would like to read that. Yes, okay.
Perfect. Yes, that's perfect. Please do.
Then one day, I found a big package on my bed. I was not sure it belongs to me, so I did not try to touch it. But they took all the things that were in the package and put it on my bed. Since I still did not do it, take it, when I was sure I was alone, I looked again at these things that were now lying on my bed. I touched them, I took them one by one, I arranged them and watched silently. There was candy, chocolate, toys, and a doll. I spent all that night only watching, touching, and smelling them until I finally decided to use them. I liked the doll the most. She was not new, but that's why I liked her. Whoever sent it must have done it with a heavy heart, for she was giving away something very dear to her, something that was almost a part of her, and all that in order to please someone she did not know. The doll had blonde hair. She could turn her head, close her eyes, and say, "Mama." She had a nice red dress with white dots. She only had one white shoe, for the other one was missing. And on the bare foot was written with childish handwriting, "Mary." Somehow I knew that this was not the name of the doll, but of the girl who sent it. This doll sent it, so I imagined a girl my age kissing her goodbye and putting her in that big box. This doll made a very long journey until she came to me. I took her in my arms and embraced her warmly. I thought I had at last met a dear friend of mine. From that day on, I was not alone, not lonely. I had my doll, which was special and mine alone, and I have a friend. It was you, Mary. When I was putting the toys into the package, I remember I was told it was a gift from the people of America. The people of America. It sounded so beautiful that I enjoyed repeating it on and on until it came to be a melody caressing my ears, and I began mumbling silently to myself, "The people of America." I wondered how they looked like, the people of America. Never had I met one, but as the time passed, I built a certain image of Americans. Sympathetic and happy people who like to laugh. They look chubby and like to drink milk and eat ripe fruit and half-boiled vegetables. They talk a lot on telephone and are always in hurry. They have no secrets. They are like an open book. Good people who are ready to share what they have with others. It appears to me that I did not thank anyone for that wonderful gift. So I asked that I would like to send a letter. To whom would you like to write? She asked. I said, to the people of America. They said that I cannot write to people and that I have to choose someone with a name and an address, and only then I could send a letter. You, Mary, were the only person I knew. In fact, in my eyes, you were the people of America, and I wanted to write to you. Since I did not have the address, I did not send a letter, but I was sure you exist, and that one day I will be able to thank you, the one who brought back the smile to my lips and shared with me those unforgettable days without even knowing it. Many years had passed since, and you, Mary, probably have a big family with children and grandchildren, just like me. I'm sure that you have forgotten about the package you have sent me many years ago, but I did not forget. All those years, all I wanted was to write a letter and to say, thank you, people of America.
Miriam,
That's it.
that is wonderful. Yeah. You brought tears to my eyes. You've brought tears to my eyes. The book is, you're so poignant, and I have no imagination of what you must have gone through, because the war, I was born after the war, and I have no understanding of what it must have been like, but it must have been so difficult to be separated from everything that you knew at such a young age, and to be put in a place with other people who were strangers, and to receive something like this. Don't you, in your imagination, hope that Mary reads your book and knows that this is really a thank you letter because of her?
Well, Mary is a symbol. It is not really a person. It is a symbol of a generation. And I think that this generation of Mary, it is, once I said that in my eyes, this was the finest hour in your history, when you were sharing. Even you were not, you personally didn't go through the Holocaust, but you identified yourself with those that did. And these activities of sending packages, it's not only what was in these packages, but it was the gesture. And it is actually, it exudes the message of human love and kindness, compassion, and the power of goodness. Because I really admire people of America. I think that these are people, these Americans are so concerned about what is happening around them, and they are always ready to help, and they are always ready to share what they have with others. Yes.
Miriam, this is just, it's wonderful. Thank you. On behalf of America, and I am an American, thank you so much for
Yes.
your view of us as a people.
Yes.
That's so kind of you, and you are correct in a large part. Many Americans do exactly what you just said. We have natural disasters and we pitch in with each other. People in other countries are in trouble. We pitch in, we help. That's part of the fabric, I guess, of our society. And I don't know that anyone has ever said thank you like you have. This is just absolutely wonderful. The book
I
cover.
think so, yes. And I think that there are still alive people that were sending these packages. And my wish is that those people will read my book.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, people sometimes don't know what to bring as a present to a grandfather, a grandmother. I think this book would make them happy.
I couldn't agree with you more. We called.
Yes, I received once a letter from a woman, a young woman. She said, when I read this story to my grandmother, who is sick and not responsive, she smiled.
Wow. I know.
Yes.
One of the things that crossed my mind, I'm a former teacher, and one of the things that crossed my mind was how valuable the book would be on all kinds of levels. You could even read this story to very young children. And if you are a history teacher, this would be a wonderful story to bring to.
Yes, this is my wish, really, that they can speak also about those sending these packages was one of the activities of the Marshall Plan. So I think that it would be very useful that the teacher will speak a little bit about this period and about the Marshall Plan and about the activities of human help to unprivileged people, yes.
You know what the book does in my mind?
What?
What the book does in my mind is give a voice and make this personal. All of a sudden, it's one person, not a general country, it's one person. It's that single voice that makes history come alive. And I think that's what you have done with this book. You have been the voice of that Italy, that detention center, that recreation center by the Joint Distribution Committee. You have been that voice. No one else has talked about this. No one else has said anything about this like you have. And I think that makes history have a heartbeat and breath sounds. It's no longer just something in a book, or it's no longer something that's just written down. What you have said is so poignant and so personal, and everyone, from adults to children to grandchildren to grandparents that lived through this, can identify with what you were talking about. If they lived through any of this at all, and if they didn't, then this brings it home that really happened, and you're the person that was there and talked about it first person. I think that's very powerful.
I just want to say thank you.
I think you have said thank you in giant red letters, Miriam. Let's tell our listeners they've got to be sitting on the edge of their chair, and they've got to be wondering where they can find the book. The book is on Amazon, And the title, let me give you the title is very simple, but I want to spell Miriam's last name, especially since I've had such difficulty pronouncing it, and I do apologize, Miriam. The title of the book is Dear Mary, and it's just Mary, M-A-R-Y, by Miriam, M-I-R-I-A-M, space, Steiner, S-T-E-I-N-E-R, dash, Aviezer, A-V-I-E-Z-E-R. Again, A-V-I-E-Z-E-R. It's on Amazon. Now, Miriam, we talked about some other places that the book is available. Would you tell our listeners where you think it's available?
Well, there is one shop that I'm sure they have the book. This is at the Holocaust Memorial Museum in Washington. So probably in other places again also, but this is one place where I'm sure they have it. Yes. And the outer house is also available, yes.
Now, that's your publisher. So if they went to www.authorhouse.com and put your name in, or even put Dear Mary in, the book would come right up, right?
Yes, I hope so. Okay.
Our time together is almost over, but I have one last question for you. Our listeners will become readers, and they will get a copy of Dear Mary, and they will sit down and they will read it. They'll finally come to that last page, and they'll read that last page, and they'll close the back cover, either electronically or physically, of the book. Miriam, what do you want that reader to take away from this wonderful personal story?
Well, I think that to be, first of all, to see how one little one little present can change the life of a person. And I really admire Americans, and I really think that they should have more, the people should have more respect for the simple American who is always concerned what is happening around and is ready to help.
Well, I want to thank you for being my guest. It's a glimpse into a piece of history that was horrible and shameful, and I'm so glad that America was able to bring some solace and some sunshine and chocolate into your life at that hard time for you. Thank you so very much for being my guest. It's been my absolute pleasure to meet you, Miriam.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Goodbye.
You've been listening to Books on Air, brought to you on the webtalkradio.net platform. You can also hear this podcast on Apple, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. And remember, keep reading, keep writing, and keep telling your stories just like Miriam Steiner Aviezer did in Dear Mary. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll look for you next time. Until then, take care, and thanks again for listening.